Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Case Closed podcast. This is D-Wall once again here with you, and today I am joined by Professor C.
Hello.
It's been a while since we've had one of these podcasts. It's been even longer since Professor C's been able to be here with me for one, but we're back and we have a lot to talk about in regards to a bunch of things going on heading into this new year. First of all, we would like to wish everyone a happy new year. I know we weren't been able to when New Year's actually happened, but we are now. It's a new year, a new start for us, and we're going to get right into it, talking about the return of our Fandub, the Silver Bullet Files. We're going to go in depth on what we're planning to do, and how you can be involved in us bringing this back. So I'll let Professor C take over from here.
Yeah, so we've talked about it as a group for the last week, really, D-Wall and myself, and we've come to a decision. We'd like to come in and do the episode 129 first. The long hour and a half episode with Hybera / Vi Greythorn's introduction. So we're very interested in looking and doing that, and overall, I mean, that's where we would like to kind of come back and really make our mark, doing the full uncut episode, with our voice cast, and really giving a good experience to the fans that, for us, really wish that we had done it and not skipped over it. So we're going to go back and do that as our first episode.
Yeah, and I think that's something that the reason why we skipped it is because Infinity Productions, the guys that we are kind of partnered with, they were doing a Fandub also, and they were doing all of the Black Organization episodes. Pretty much any episode that had the Black Organization involved, they ended up doing a dub of that. So we ended up wanting to do the episodes that weren't involved with that through season 6, which started at episode 130 in the Japanese count. And we did, we were going to do those. Actually, we started before that. We started right after, right when Funimation ended their dub. We took over and wanted to do the episode starting right after that one and leading into the next season, if you will. And we were going to skip over episode 129 because Infinity was already doing it, so we didn't feel it would make much sense for us to do it and then them doing it, and it's like just a bunch of unnecessary. I mean, I don't think it would have caused any drama between the two, but at the same time, it's like they're already doing it. Why should we do it? That kind of mentality.
Yeah.
But now.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, now with them going in a different direction on their dub, it kind of gives us an opportunity to kind of revisit and do some things that we weren't originally going to plan on doing for our fan base on this side, and for our for the fans that patronize us and help us so much.
Yeah, so what we're planning to do, like I said, is we're going to start with episode 130, and then after we do episode 130...
You mean 129, right?
Yeah, 129. I keep saying 130. 130 is the one that we were working on before we had took a break from the Fandub, actually. The Stadium case, which we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that when we get done with what we want to do next. But, so don't think that the people that that did their voice parts and everything that's just not going to go to waste. If you guys are worried about that, I still have the audio files. I still have the project files and everything. So when we get around to it, we're going to go back and finish that episode. But for right now, our direction is going to lead us to doing episode 130 and 129. I'm gonna keep saying that through this entire. I'm gonna keep saying that through this entire thing. We're gonna do that at 129 episode, and then we're gonna go to the Clash of Red and Black series, which is something that's I'm really looking forward to scripting and getting the parts for it and everything like that. That's gonna be really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really exciting, and then we've also got a list of episodes that we're going to go ahead and do. I think this is something safe for us as a group to commit to. I don't think committing to anything beyond it is a smart thing right now, but I think the episodes that we are going to list today are going to be what our goal is, and kind of give us a more structure going forward, is to know, hey, this is exactly what we're doing. We don't have any plans to do anything beyond this. This is kind of our definitive list going forward of things that we really want to do and really want to give the fans. And a big part of that is the entire Clash of Red and Black arc. We would like to really do that on our side as well, and give the fans that dub. I think it's one of the most critical points in the series, if not the most critical point in the series as of yet. So it would be very important to give the fans that arc dubbed and dealt with a lot of care, and making sure that we're casting the right people and doing the right things in that area as well.
Yeah, and then like we said, we're not going to really commit to much after that. I mean, I know everybody was asking us beforehand about a movie. Obviously, that will be movie 7 if we do decide to do that. But for right now, we want to go ahead and try and get these out of the way, see how this goes first, and then if things go well and we're really moving it along and everything goes good, then we can do a movie. I mean, if you guys want it. I don't have an issue with it. I know Professor C doesn't have an issue with it. So I mean, if you guys want to do that, that's great. I would love to do movie 7 also. Yeah, I would love for that to happen, but it just, like I said, just depends on how much support these episodes go moving forward into this year. And I think we have the talent, and we have the people in our community that with the drive that would want to do it. We still have people asking us about the Fandub every now and then. We still have people asking when we're going to be dubbing shows again. So this is your time right now to listen to us tell it to you. We're bringing it back. So get ready for that. I don't know exactly when the episode will be finished. It just depends on how fast the voice parts come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's an interesting dynamic to actually have some structure to it and to really just have a good running list right now. Movie 7 is on our list of things to do. I think it's something we want to really accomplish once we get the Clash of Red and Black arc completed, is when we want to go tackle that movie. It did win out in our poll of what movie would you want us to do. And that was from 7 to, I believe, 7 to 19.
I think it was 19.
Yeah, 19.
I think it was either 19 or... Because I don't think you did it when 20 was out.
No.
It was a while back.
Yeah, it was a little while back, but it did win out in the poll, and it comes right after the dub movie 6 that has an official dub, so I think that's a really good thing for the fans, and it'll be really high quality. All of the episodes that we'll put out will be really high quality due to the raw files that we have acquired that are in high definition, and they're going to be looking just as good as these other episodes have been looking. So and it'll be the same with the movie as well. So I'm really excited about that part for the fans.
Yeah, and I think that once we get these episodes out there, more people will start to flock in, because there's a lot of that right around the end of when we decided to take a break from everything. We had a lot more people that wanted to be a part of it. So now that we're bringing it back, and now that we know we're in a more stable place to do it. I think that, like I said, I think we have the voice cast for it. And if you guys are listening and have been wondering where we've been and why we haven't given you guys scripts and stuff, now you know why. Just things were getting really crazy, but I think now we're more stable-minded as in terms of time constraints and things like that, so that way we can be able to bring you guys this fandub that we love doing and you guys love watching. So again, for anybody that was a part of this beforehand, who was a part of the fandub before and want to still be a part of it, you still have, you're still open to come in. The email address, as always, is caseclosed1992@live.com. It'll be at the bottom of the description. And again, just send us an email, send us a clip of your audition, and we will get to you with a part, because this episode, and I'm just going to stress this now, everybody that emails will be considered, because this episode 129 is a very long show. It's an hour and a half, and that's without commercials. So this is like doing a movie. This is pretty much like doing movie 7 right now. It is a lot. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of voice parts. It's going to be a lot of time taken to getting this done. A lot of care into getting this done. So everybody that emails will be considered for it, some part, sometime. I mean, there's police officers, there's extras, there's suspects, there's bank tellers, there's about every single part you can think of is in this episode. So again, if you want to be a part of it, there are plenty of open spots. So let us know, email us, and like I said, you'll be considered for a role, because we will need them for this episode.
Yeah, definitely. And, we always encourage anybody that wants to try out and, take on the part. And, we always encourage people to do, what part makes them comfortable. Don't try to match somebody from the dub. Try to kind of make it your own. I mean, there's something, about staying true to the character, but you always want to, be your own unique self and put your own spin on a character. So I always encourage people when they audition to really, really try to follow that too. You don't have to be somebody else. You can always be yourself, and that's really going to be good enough for us.
Yeah.
A dub.
And also for those of you who may have friends who want to get into voice acting, I follow a lot of voice actors on Twitter, and they say the exact same thing. Fan dubbing is kind of like practice for actual acting, actual voice acting. I've seen plenty of people that do fan dubs that are getting parts in actual, shows now. So, it's possible. Not to say that you don't still need like acting classes and stuff like that, because that's important too, but at the same time, these fan dubs give you that experience to know what it's like to be in an actual dub and things like that. So if you know anybody that wants to get into voice acting, or anybody that that wants to have an interest in it, let them know about us. Let them know that we're doing this fan dub, and let them know that if they want to be a part of it, all they got to do is just email us and shoot us an email, or shoot us a line on Twitter or on the Facebook page, and we'll get back to them. It's not really complicated for them to get involved if they want a part.
Yeah, and just to kind of follow up, I mean, we're really open. Like, even if you audition for a character and you don't get that character, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not in the dub. It's just, we might have found somebody else to do that, or yada yada, so on and so forth, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get a part in the dub. It just means, hey, we may have casted somebody else in that role, and we might put you in another role, for example, that we feel like would be a better suit, and we'll obviously tell you or get your feedback on it before we do the official casting on that. It's just to let everybody know not to be discouraged if you don't get the character you're auditioning for, because that character could be cast already, or we've got somebody that we think's a good fit for it that we really would rather give it to. So just, always keep that in mind, and I just want everybody to be aware of that.
Yeah, because I know we have Conan and Hybra already booked, just to let you know right off the bat. I know that for certainty.
Yeah.
That we have those two already locked down. So for anybody that wants to audition as Hybra or Conan, that's pretty much off the table. I'll just let you know that now up front. Unless something changes or, something drastic has happened in the last couple of months, we have at least two people that are already locked in for those parts. If one can't do it, we already have another. So, again, we just want to let you know that up front. But if something does happen and we do need a new Conan or a new Hybra because something unexpected happened, we will let you know.
I'd say Richard's a pretty safe bet to be cast still. I think Richard and Maguire are still a pretty safe bet too with our voice actors for them. They've been nothing but steady and reliable, and I'll just go ahead and say they're already cast as well.
Yeah.
In their roles, as long as they still feel comfortable doing it and they enjoy it still, those roles are for them, with Adam voicing Richard and we got Patrick voicing Maguire.
Yeah, they've done a really, really good job. Every time we've asked them, they've always been here and just been so reliable and gotten back to us every time, as has the other voice actors that we've had. I think, again, we're going to look through, we're going to be emailing, and if you guys are listening that are a part of our cast, that were a part of our cast before, we will be giving you guys emails and letting you know and seeing if you guys are still interested in being a part of this. And again, we will be putting the list of open spots on the Facebook page, on Twitter, on the Detective Conan Reddit page. If anybody follows that, we're in there. It's every now and again. And we're just going to keep you guys updated on whose spots are open. It's going to be a long list. I'm just letting you guys know that. It'll be a long list. There might be some people that might be voicing multiple characters if we don't have enough people. But again, this is a big, big task for us to do. And again, I hope that a lot of you can, be able to participate in this, because it's really fun. Everybody that's ever done it with us has always said how fun this has been. So I really want to be able to cast as many people as possible for this role, because I really am excited to actually see how we can fare doing this, doing 129 and doing our own spin on this introduction to Hybra's character.
Yeah, and I mean, we totally are, fired up about going out and, doing our own dub of it and kind of seeing, how we sound with everything, and it gives us a chance to feature, another episode for us on our page that is really important to the community. I mean, everybody really wants to see a really good, see an English episode of this, on our side, and it's also for the people who haven't seen Infinity's dub of it, either. And it'll give us a chance to feature, what our cast is going to be able to do, on our channel again, and that's what's really exciting for me, coming back after all this time.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break from everything. We weren't gonna quit by any means, because we still have a long ways to go. I feel like we still have people in the community, because we have a very, very large community. We get likes almost all the time on the Facebook page, so there's still interest in what we do here, and there's still interest in the people that that help us with these fan dubs and things like that. So we still want to keep moving if we can. I can let you know, because I'm looking through the list now, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of parts in this episode 129. There are a lot of parts. I'd like to say, just right now, let's see, that's 5, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 parts. Some of these don't speak either, but I'd say there's at least 20 parts in this entire thing. So that's at least a 20-person cast. So it's a long cast list. But again, I'll be posting the list probably as you're listening to this podcast right now. The list will be up on Facebook. If not, it will be up fairly soon. And you guys can look through that and see which people you feel comfortable casting as, and also you can go through the episode. It's online somewhere. I'm sure you'll be able to watch it. And you can look through and see which character you feel you would be more comfortable with. I do know that we still have the Junior Detective League, who's in the 129 episode, at least in the first half of the first half of it, at least in the first half of it, because there's two parts to this. There's one half and then there's another half. So there's not going to be a time where like a voice actor on one half will have to voice another unless you have to. It could be a thing where you're only doing half the episode and that's it. So you're only doing about 30 minutes or so total. So it could be one of those situations. But again, it's the thing where the script will most likely be split up into part 1 and 2. The first will be after the bank robbery part, and then the second will be during Hyrule introduction, and then all that stuff afterward. The case after that. So just to make it easier for everybody, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it'd be easier to split it into 2 parts or just have everybody just get one whole script and then you guys can just do it all at once, or however you want to do it. So I'll have to think over on that one.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll figure that out kind of as we go. I just want to encourage everybody, if you're a fan, try out for it. I mean, trying out's not going to hurt anything, and we do ask that people have a fairly high quality mic. We don't want people to be using something that's not really like, where you have a bunch of noise in the background or it cuts in and out. Just something that, passes as a microphone it'll actually work and will allow you to record. We do ask people to do that. Yeah, clear speak.
As long as we can understand you, and as long as we can hear your voice clearly, without too much trouble, you should be all right.
Yeah. So we encourage everybody to do that, and we also want feedback from everybody too on this. I really want to know kind of how the community feels about it, and I want them to give us feedback too, and let us know, kind of what their thoughts on it are. I did want to give a quick shout out to Infinity coming back and doing a different side. They're doing something different too. They're doing the current canon episodes. They just finished up doing a dub for episode 861 and 862, and it was phenomenal dubbing work on their side. They've added some new voices and changed their cast around quite a bit. And it came out really, really well. So anybody that hasn't seen those 2 episodes yet, I really recommend you go over to Infinity's page and watch those episodes. And we'll leave a link to their website in the description as well, for you guys to go look at that. But those are really the big things that we're talking about right now in the community, and I'd love to hear everyone's feedback.
Yeah, and you, who played you actually, for those who don't know, he played Conan in the first few episodes of our fandub. Now he's playing Conan for Infinity's fandub. So I was surprised to hear that, but he's back playing Conan for them. He wanted to play Conan for us again as well. So it's great to see him back. I think he was doing college work and things like that. So, again, I'm glad to see that he's back and he's wanting to, keep doing the fan dubs for either side of the spectrum. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I mean, he's I've always said he's an extremely talented voice for Conan, and just does a great job. It's got to be the hardest part, I think, for anybody to play in the Fandub, because it's the most criticized and the most over analyzed character as far as when it comes to a voice, and I think he's handled all of it extraordinarily well. There's nobody else I'd rather have leading that role, for choice other than him, in that. And if he wants to play Conan at any point, that's the guy I want doing it, just because I think he captures that side of the character really well, and just does a fantastic job. I mean, if you can't have the official voice of Conan, with Allison voicing it, I think you'd rather, having you, letter YU.
It's gonna be kind of hard for people who might be here listening for the first time. They'll be like, you. It'll be a whole Rush Hour 3 kind of deal if you saw that movie.
Yeah.
Like, not me, you. He's me and I'm you.
Exactly. So.
It's like, no, we're not going into that, hopefully. But he's done a great job. Heather's done a great job too. For those of you who didn't see the episode 130 preview, she took over the role of Conan when you went to college, or whatever he was doing. I think it was college, most likely. And she took over for Conan, and I believe she's going to do Hybra also if she's still interested, which I'm sure she is. And she's done a great job too. So, not to say that, it's you who's been the main one doing it, but he's done a great job. Heather's also done a really great job. I would, personally, I could see either one of them playing Conan. If you can't do it, then Heather will do it. If Heather can't do it, you will do it. Either way. But it's up to them what they want to do. I mean, and Heather, if you're listening to this, I'm going to email you about this too and see what you think. My theory was I would have you do Hybra and he can do Conan, so that way it takes less off you. So that way you don't have to do both parts. Instead of you can only do one part, and that'd be easier on you. So if you want to, I'll email you about it and let you know if you're listening to this. If not, I'll just email you, and I'll send you an email and let you know.
Yeah, and Heather has done a fantastic job taking on the role of two characters. For us, for that time, was that's probably one of the hardest things to do in voice acting.
Yeah.
Especially when the character next to you is talking every other sentence.
Yeah.
But she's handled it extraordinarily well, and if it comes down to her voicing the role again, I know we're in good hands. So I feel really good about where we're at. Period.
Mm-hmm.
With everything, and going forward, it's going to be a really good experience for us. I really believe that.
Yeah. So that we're going to start that as soon as we can. Like today, I'm going to start writing the script since I got some free time to start writing the script today for this episode. So I'm also going to send out. Well, me and Professor C are probably going to be sending out emails today. To the cast that we can find that is still on the email list, so that way you guys can be notified on whether or not you can come back to do this episode or not. So we'll certainly let all of you know.
Yeah, so just be looking out for that. We'll be shooting those messages today and kind of figuring out the editing side too. I think we have an editor who might be helping us out too. So if you do want to help on the production side, feel free to email us about that too. We could always use help with editing episodes or writing scripts or anything that'll help in that department. We always encourage people, if you want to explore that side, don't hesitate to do it with us. It's certainly something we're looking to need help with. So again, it's CaseClosed1992 at live.com. That's really, I think that's really all we had to discuss about it was really wanting to talk about the Fandub.
Yeah. Other than the other big thing is if you guys haven't been catching up with the manga lately, we're getting near the end of the series, everybody. I know it's a heartbreaker for some people, but we're getting pretty close. And the reason why I say that is because the boss most likely has been revealed, which that's something we couldn't say about 6 months ago, but
That's very true. Yeah, Karasu Morena has been named as the boss of the Black Organization, most likely, and they're going to have to reveal a lot of things on, is that person alive or dead, or is there, what's going on, but
yeah. Well, the spoiler from the manga is that he's supposed to be dead. He was supposed to be dead 50 years ago, and if you've been keeping up with the series, you'd know that 50-year mark sounds very familiar because that's around the same time that the poison was created. The original idea for the poison was created that long ago. So it makes you wonder if this guy was the originator of that idea. So you never know. I mean, he could have been shrunk for all we know, hiding out all this time.
Yeah.
We don't know, because right now Gosho's on a break. He's been taking a break for a while, so we have no idea what's going on right now.
Yeah, and I mean, with that break, I think he is writing the ending out. My theory is he's going to be writing that ending. I think he's known what he's wanted to do for a while. I'm still kind of hoping for it not to be a happy ending. I think there needs to, when a show's gone this long, just my personal opinion as a fan, I want to see a twist at the end. I want to see, I call them one of the big three, and that are really important to the story. I really think Conan, Hybera, and Rachel are probably the three most important characters in this, story, between, like, the good side, for example. Even though I love Akai. Akai's phenomenal. My favorite character in the whole series. But those three are really the most important characters when it comes from, like, the storytelling side. I think it would be a great twist if one of those three characters actually died at the end. I think it would create a really unique twist and would really take that storyline in another direction that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. I think if it just ended on a happy ending and things were great and nothing happened, I think that would be some opportunities missed as far as storytelling, especially on a franchise that's been animated since 1995 or 1996, and the manga's probably been out since before that. So I really am hoping they do something like that. I think, I'm going to make a bold statement. I think Gosho owes that to the fans, to create an ending that, has a lot of layers and has a lot of twists and turns and isn't exactly the normal happy ending. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. I believe that too. I mean, there's a possibility that could happen. But the one thing we haven't talked about is the one scenario that hasn't happened yet in the series, and that's Rachel's birthday. Gosho said for years and years and years that a big event, a big turning point in the series is going to happen on her birthday. I have a feeling as of right now that the ending of the series is going to, either the ending of the series or something that's going to lead very, very close to the ending is going to happen on Rand's birthday.
Yeah, because
I really believe
they won't be 17 anymore. They'll be 18, and they're going to have to cross over into that, that age where they really avoided it and haven't even gone there.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think that'll be a big turning point. I just hope they do the story justice and do a proper ending. And I really do hope, even with the reveal of Karasu Morena, that it does turn out that the boss has been in the series for at least a little while, that we've seen the boss before, because the only thing with the whole Karasu Morena thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and some people will disagree with me on this, but Gosho had stated that the boss had appeared in the first season or the first two seasons of Case Closed. And So if it was Karasuma Reina, well, where did Karasuma Reina appear? Because if that's the case, if Karasuma Reina really is the boss, then the boss had to have taken the drug to become younger or not age at some point. And I could see that, but it would make me want to go back and watch the first couple of seasons to see if I saw anything more suspicious that maybe I missed. And I would hope that Karasuma Reina had at some point made an appearance in those episodes to make that statement by him more believable by Gosho.
Yeah. And I think that there's a chance that he has appeared and that he did shrink. I think there's a chance of that. But again, I think the only time that, from what I've read on Detective Conan World, I think the only time that he appeared was during a flashback when it was Kaido Kid and Shinichi in the I think it was one of the 200 episodes.
Yeah, 219, one of my absolute favorite episodes. It's like a hour and a half or 2 hour long episode, and then where they go to this mansion that actually belonged to Karasuma Reina.
Yeah.
And a lot of things ended up happening there, and the story about him was told in that episode. So if you haven't seen 219, you know what I'm going to do? You know what? I'm going to do this. I know we haven't talked about this, but I'm going to upload 219 for about probably a week or two to our Facebook page for everybody to go watch that full episode. I'll upload it and let people go watch, and you can see the whole episode and see the Karasuma Reina story in the episode, and you can kind of, as a group and as a community, we can theorize kind of what we're thinking is going on there, because I've watched it a few times, and I kind of learn something new every time I watch it. And I think for the fans, I think it'd be really cool if you haven't seen that episode, we can put a full sub version of it out there for you to see.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll do that for everybody, and I'm really curious to see what everybody's theory on the boss is, and kind of the feedback from everybody. And I think it's a really interesting discussion going on right now, and especially in a community where not a whole lot really had happened in the story. The story had kind of mellowed for a while until we got until we started getting hints about who Rum possibly was, and everything like that. So
yeah.
I do think it's a possibility we'll find out the identity of Rum around the same time we find out everything about Karasuma Reina, because I think those characters are really connected in a lot of ways. And, I do also think there's a possibility that Karasuma Reina took the drug that Vermouth took, where, she doesn't age. I think there's a possibility he took that drug too, which a lot of people in the community theorize that might be why she's the boss's favorite. Maybe they both share that common element between each other, both taking that drug. It could be something that they're both having to kind of struggle with. So I really would like to see them dive into the dynamics of it and explore it. I mean, the one thing the show does really, really well that's sets it apart from other animes, is the storytelling aspect is really solid in it. I watch a show like I love action shows. I love watching the action side of something like Dragon Ball Super, or I can't think of another anime really right now, but very few shows, not just anime, but very few shows in general, do a really good job on the storytelling side like this one does. Any loose end that we've kind of had going through the years, if we really wondered about something, it does get revealed. It's not like it just goes unturned and we don't know what it is or what's going on. Eventually, if there's a character we don't know anything about, the truth does come out on that, and there's not a whole lot of things that are missed or things that get overlooked in that. The storytelling side is really good, and for a show that's almost 900 episodes, I would kind of expect that too. But the fact that they haven't really missed on those things and it's been addressed has been really, really, really great.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that it's only going to get better because of how the season is, how this manga's going now. And now that he's taking a break, it leads more to the possibility that we may get more manga heavy episodes of the anime, because we've gotten a lot of that recently. We haven't been getting as many anime originals.
Well,
So
yeah,
that could also lead to something.
Yeah, and the manga is running closer to the anime now than it ever has. I mean, it's still behind, but it's not going to take a full year to get those episodes out like it used to. It might be 6 months to 5 months till we see those episodes, as long as they don't fill in a ton of anime originals and they continue on that track. It's not going to take a full year to get, file 1008 or file 1000 or anything. It won't take that long. We might see those files done in Japanese in the next few months.
Yeah, I agree.
So a lot of exciting things are happening right now. I encourage everybody that, if people aren't, aware about us, let your friends know and kind of let them know that we're around and we're talking about the series, and, we're on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and just kind of let them know. And we want to get everybody that we can over on our pages to talk about the possible ending of the show coming, and everything that we're doing with the Fandub right now, and trying to give fans what they want in that regard too. I think it's a really exciting time for the community. I think 2018 is going to be a big year.
Yeah, I agree. And there may be even more coming, just on the terms of it may not just be the Fandub for us. It might be more than that. Who knows? Things could happen. Like, we've been trying to spread the word about the Fandub and spread the word about our community and what we do, but at the same time, you never know. We could end up, and I know we did a panel 2 years ago. You never know. We might be able to go back and do that again if things work out. Anything can happen. Never really know. But it all depends on how this year goes.
Yeah. So, I mean, just a lot of cool things going on right now, guys. I would definitely, keep following what we're doing. And if you're part of the cast on the Fandub and you're hearing this, expect us to contact you today. And if we miss you, hit us back up, and we'll talk to you, and we'll get this thing rolling again.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on the Facebook page, especially. Keep an eye out on your emails, because we will be messaging you. We'll be letting you know. And once you get that email, please get back to us as soon as you can. And we'll get back to you on a part. And if if we have any open spots, which, like I said, we got at least 20 parts that will need to be voiced. So if there aren't any, at least, if not 12, I'd say, if not 20, I'd say at least 12. Because I know some of the parts have been, some of the parts are already filled by other people that have been doing this before, so.
Yeah, so once this podcast drops, I'll drop episode 219 on the channel pretty quick after that, probably the next day or two after the podcast is released. So be looking for 219 if you haven't seen it before. This is a special kind of thing we're going to do for the fans, to put the subbed episode out there for everybody to go watch. So if you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll be happy to address them.
Yeah, definitely. So with that being said, we wanted to keep this fairly short. But we ended up not. We had a lot to say. Of course, like I said, this is our first podcast back, so obviously we had a lot to talk about. But again, I'm going to be sorting out that list as we speak. We'll be emailing everybody as we speak here, and just be looking. Keep on the lookout if you're watching this later than the 16th of January. Keep an eye out on your emails. and we will let you know about parts and if we need any additional things from you. So with that said, for Professor C, this is D-Wall. I'd like to thank you guys for listening to another episode of the podcast. We will be back. Not sure when there will be another podcast, but I will let you know on the Facebook page as soon as that becomes open to me and to him. So take care, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Later, guys.